Hi, I'm Dean O'Lally.
And I'm Lauren Nelson. You know, it may be winter, but you don't have to hibernate. There are plenty of indoor, active things to do in our state.
And this is one of them. We are at the Route 66 Bowl in Chandler. They have a lot going on here. They have laser tag, miniature golf, a game room, an arcade. But I'm kind of excited about the bowling.
All right, Dina, I'm ready to see it.
All right, it has been a while, so we'll see what happens. All right, not too bad. It's been a while.
Dino, I think you found the game you're going to beat me at.
Well, we'll see what happens.
But first, we're going to head west on the Mother Road.
We found a quaint inn which is located in downtown Elk City.
The Bluebird Inn is located right in the heart of downtown Elk City. Owner Julie Bonner says that was always part of the strategy.
A lot of people will say, what sets you apart from just the hotel? And the biggest thing is my location. That was definitely strategy. I wouldn't have done it anywhere else.
Julie found this neglected building and knew this was it, and now she has brought it back to life in a splendid way and turned it into a 3-room charmer. Part of the other strategy and philosophy was to be a part of promoting Elk City, especially the downtown area.
And people will say, oh, how's the bed and breakfast going? And I'm like, the beds are great. The breakfast is at either cafe 1 block away, because really the whole thing was to promote downtown Elk City, because I think we have one of the best downtowns.
And both coffee shops give the Bluebird Inn guests a discount for dining with them. Folks staying at the inn can slumber in one of 3 beautifully stylish and extremely comfortable king-sized rooms. Each is named after grandmothers in her and her husband's families. The first one is Rachel, named after Julie's paternal grandmother.
But her favorite color, lucky enough, was just navy blue or blue and white, so that I did a really crisp blue and white in there.
Each room has its own theme and all have the blue underlying current going through it. For amenities, you have them all, from a mounted television with free Netflix, Keurig's mini fridge, safes, and by each sink, extra amenities. Now, the second room is Jessie, named after Julie's husband's grandmother.
Her room is done in sunflowers and yellow because that was one of her favorites, so we did navy and yellow. So that's what I did with each room. So the 2 first rooms, they're very similar in layout, and the third one, just because of the building, and we had to be really creative on how we laid it out, it's a little different.
And the third room is called Marie.
She loved everything Native American, and actually over at the museum in Cheyenne, she had donated a lot of arrowheads, and so I try to bring in a little bit of Native American to that room.
If it's privacy you want, you will find it here along with peace and quiet. Ready to venture out of your appointed hideaway, though? Downtown Elk City provides all kinds of fun shopping and dining opportunities. Route 66 travelers have also become a big part of this business.
In April, when I very first opened, it was a lot of locals. A lot of locals were wanting to do date nights or girls' nights, and then now it's probably 80% is travelers, whether it be Route 66 or they're just traveling through from, one place to the other. So I would say that's quite a bit of my business.
And the comments from people who have stayed here are pretty consistent.
There were 6 of us. So we took all 3 rooms and we had a great time. We stayed up till like 1 o'clock in the morning talking and visiting in this common room. It's really neat because we can play games or whatever you want. So we really liked it.
It's luxurious. You just feel like you're in a very high-end inn.
It was so quiet, so peaceful. We actually came out and played cards on this couch. It was raining, we watched the rain, and it was so magical.
We have lots of hotels and motels, and they're nice, but they're not downtown, and they're not unique in any way. This is unique. We really liked it.
Here's how you can contact the Bluebird Inn, and if you want to eat, stay, and play in Elk City, coming up a little bit later, we're going to head out to the Elk City bike trails.
All right, Dino, let's see what I got.
Okay, go ahead. That doesn't look good. All right, well, it's okay.
Dino, okay, I'm done. Let's go do something else. That's why I gave up golf.
Okay, okay. Well, I tell you what, let's head east on Route 66. Jason Grubbs has found a place to shop Oklahoma-made products.
The Kitchen 66 General Store inside the Mother Road Market makes it easy to shop local. Everything inside of here is made by our good neighbors across the state of Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Jinx, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma City, Norman, Noble, Dewey, Mustang. Communities big and small. It's a long list of locals.
And it's all in this wonderful incubator space of Mother Road Market.
The general store gives new entrepreneurs a chance to grow sales and scale up their products, right alongside folks who've been around a little longer, fellow Oklahomans they can turn to for advice.
And so anyone starting out here is surrounded by a community of entrepreneurs that have been there before, and they know what it's like to walk in those shoes.
Pick from an assortment of packaged nuts by Night Pecan Farms. How about some flat iron steak for dinner? Good Sale Land and Cattle has all sorts of local cuts of beef. Pick up a few items and get a gift basket to go. There are all sorts of sweet treats to fill it with.
So we have whoopie pies from Smart Whoopies, also a part of our program. Macarons from Sweet Grace. She does all things gluten-free and they're delicious. And then we also have things from Tia's Superfood Brownies. So they're incredible brownies that are all made with superfoods, and most of them are completely vegan and gluten-free.
This easy peasy marinade and meatball mix is made by a lady in Jinx. I've cooked with it twice now, and I can tell you it is fantastic.
This is the first time selling in a storefront for several of these vendors. For some, it's the only place you can find their Oklahoma-grown products.
A lot of them have had success in farmers markets, or they're selling on Facebook or online, but this is their first toe into the grocery world, and even though it is a smaller environment here, it's still a really big jump for that entrepreneur.
While there's a variety of items for sale, you'll also find something here you simply can't buy, a sense of real local pride.
I think walking in this store, you really get a sense of how important it is in Oklahoma, the business side of it, of owning your own business and working hard, and then also that neighborly aspect of supporting your neighbor when they take up that endeavor.
At Mother Road Market on Route 66 in Tulsa, I'm Jason Grubbs for Discover Oklahoma.
Here's the info on the K66 General Store inside Tulsa's Mother Road Market, which includes a lot of great places to shop and eat, so make it an afternoon.
Up next, we're trying laser tag.
And mountain biking in Elk City.
Then I'll take you to a place in my hometown of Lawton that is rich with military history. Be right back.
Adventure is calling. It's just around the corner, from sunrise to sunset and border to border. There's so much in Oklahoma, from landscapes to cuisine. Stories still unfolding, spellbinding and serene. Don't keep it to yourself. Spread the joy around. Remind your friends and neighbors there's wonder to be found. Go boldly or cautiously. Plan a day trip or book a stay. Your journey, your style. Travel okay, your way.
Make a date with the great outdoors with the Oklahoma State Parks app. Explore trails, discover events, get deals, book lodging, campsites, and more. Download the Oklahoma State Parks app. Experience a state of wonder.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. We are at the Route 66 Bowl in Chandler, where there's way more to do than just bowling. Obviously, we are in the laser tag area, and I'm waiting on Lauren to come by just any time. Well, that's not what I thought, so.
If you're into war games or war history, I've got a museum you'll love in Lawton. It tells the tale of U.S. Army weaponry from Revolutionary War up to today. If you're a military or history buff, you need to plan a trip to the U.S. Army Field Artillery Museum at Fort Sill. From the moment you step foot on the grounds, you will see things you won't find anywhere else.
This really tells the story, the history, and the heritage of the field artillery from the American Revolution through today. We even have current operations exhibits. It's one of the most oldest continuously serving branches in the U.S. Army. And here in Oklahoma, Fort Sill has been the home of the field artillery for over a century, since 1911.
Director of Museums Frank SILTMAN says the history you will see here is inside, outside, and all around.
If you go outside, there's an artillery park with over 90 pieces, primarily from World War I up through current operations.
When you step inside, the history and heritage continues in 3 different galleries with exhibits covering different eras of Army artillery.
So when you come to the museum, we have a center gallery that really covers all aspects of artillery.
In the South Gallery, you will find artillery used during the Revolutionary War through the turn of the 20th century.
As you go down there through that, you just have a tremendous amount of technology that you just see this huge evolution from cast iron to bronze, smoothbore to rifles, muzzle loading to breech loading, and so almost impossible to cover all the technology really that occurred in that time frame. We also have a very special item in there, and that is Franklin Roosevelt's funeral caisson. It was somehow returned to Fort Sill in the 1950s. It made its way to the museum, so a very unique piece that actually carried Franklin Roosevelt to his final resting place. What you're going to see in the North Gallery is a change from direct fire artillery, where you're shooting what you see, to indirect fire, what we know as artillery today, and that occurred in World War I. Then you'll get into World War II, mechanization, as you see behind us, artillery pieces on tracks.
The Central Gallery explores all of the advancements made for present-day artillery. You will see artillery and more used in the Korean War all the way to present-day operations.
So the Central Gallery is open to the public since October. It's really not complete yet. It's about 95, 98% complete, so we're still working on that. So we cover both Korea and Vietnam. Vietnam Fire Base is covered in that area. Also aerial artillery, rocket artillery, a helicopter.
To explore and learn more about all that the Army Artillery has done and continues to do to keep our country safe, plan your trip to the U.S. Army Field Artillery Museum at Fort Sill.
Really, it's been a part and parcel of Southwest Oklahoma and Oklahoma in itself.
There's so much to see at Fort Sill, so plan to make a day of it. Coming up, we'll take you to a restaurant in nearby Medicine Park that you can hit while you're in the area.
We're headed back to Elk City to check out their bike trails. I did not try this, and you will see why.
You gotta come out here. We've rode several trails through Oklahoma, and Elk City Lake Trails is literally have a little bit of everything that Oklahoma has to offer.
That's true. You have a little bit of flat terrain and then not so flat terrain, much like Oklahoma's 12 diverse ecosystems.
Just stay on this trail.
The Lake Elk City bike trails have been around for 30 years. There was a time when they had fallen into disrepair, but a group of biking enthusiasts jumped in and whipped the 12.5 miles of trails into shape.
And about 6 or 8 years ago, it just seemed like all of a sudden there was 3 or 4 little groups of buddies that kind of jumped into mountain biking, and we looked up and we were kind of all out here, and we give this thing a facelift. And it's probably as good a shape as we've ever had it.
The trails wind through picturesque countryside. At one of the entrances to the trails, you will find Garage Bicycle Works. Jeff Terrell is the owner. He says a lot of people didn't even know they were here.
We got lucky enough to get the shop right here by the trailhead, and so they see the trails and they ask us about where the trails are, and we just point. It's right there. And they're like, they didn't realize that they could literally come and ride right here.
The diversity of the area makes this even more alluring. While exciting and exhilarating, it's also relaxing, and trees are not the only thing that's part of the scenery.
It's just peaceful. I mean, you can come out by yourself, you can come out and ride, blow some stress off, whatever, just so you don't ever know what you're gonna see out here. We've got some wildlife, you'll run into some deer. The lake's very beautiful.
By the way, these are multi-purpose trails. Some folks run them, walk, and hike them. You can even ride a horse here. What's not allowed is any kind of motorized vehicle. Now, no matter your skill level, though, you can find a place to ride.
Anybody can ride out here, you can. We tell people if you've never seen the pits and you've never rode the pits, go with somebody that has. And they're real easy to bypass. There's nothing out here that's going to force you to ride something beyond your skill level.
Given Oklahoma's weather, you can even ride year-round. An added bonus to this area next to the lake is a new camping site. You can bring your family out and spend all day or multiple days right here.
There's so much to do at the lake, whether that's these trail systems or the disc golf course, which was just recently put in, I believe, 2 years ago. We've also got all of the amenities as far as camping and RV hookups and that kind of stuff.
The mayor describes this area as a gem. Not only is it beautiful, but there's a feeling of freedom here, a chance to reconnect with nature. But the enthusiasm for riding bikes is contagious.
But we love to meet new people, ride with new people. So if you're coming to town and you're not comfortable just taking the adventure, afraid you'll get lost, call the bike shop and Jeff will set something up with one of us local guys. Would love to take you around and show you a lap.
The life out here has really started to take a form of its own, and it's exciting to see. So the city, we have plans to invest and to keep making it better.
To find out more things to do in Elk City or any other city or town, just go to travelok.com.
Up next, I'm taking you to Medicine Park for Mexican food. Stay with us.
Mind-blowing restaurants, trips, adventures, and so much more. Open your copy, then hit the open road. Unleash your curiosity. Set your spirit free. Subscribe today for only $14.95. Oklahoma Today magazine. Break through the ordinary.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. We are at the Route 66 Bowl in Chandler. As you can tell, there's a lot more to do here than just bowl. We're actually in the mini golf area, so simply put, this is a great place for the whole family.
Tino, you're
Get
killing
it?
me. Quick, let's change the subject. Right now, DEANNE STEIN is going to introduce us to an Oklahoma rancher who is taking his homegrown beef on the road.
Kurt MAYABB wears many hats.
Everybody's happy. They get it. They know that I've got 10 irons in the fire.
A farmer, food truck owner, cook, and the mayor of Piedmont.
The first day they find out, they sure let me know how they feel about the roads or, you know, different stuff. But we're all happy here. I mean, it's a good community.
No matter how you feel about politics, though, the visitors to Rockin' Meats all agree on one thing.
Local, it's fresh meat, it's good, it's I mean, it's something that you can't get anywhere else.
Well, it's definitely quality. I mean, I can eat more of it. I want more of it.
Kurt breeds and raises the cattle for his beef at his Piedmont farm.
I'm very limited on my feed that I use. I want things to be more natural.
He first started the trailer to sell his frozen beef to the public.
Now I've got a ribeye sandwich coming at you.
Then decided to open up the cafe inside to give customers a taste of what they're getting.
The ribeye steak sandwich is the #1 seller.
You can see why. It's a 1/4-inch slice of ribeye, blackened if you prefer, topped with provolone cheese and put on a 6-inch hoagie bun with a side of homemade horseradish sauce.
I have, actually. I need to try some other things, but it's so good, you know. Maybe I'll eat something else with it next time.
The steak quesadilla is the second top seller, followed by the Philly cheesesteak with bell peppers, onions, and cheese. And then the Frito burrito, my personal favorite, with chili, cheese, and Fritos all wrapped up in a flour tortilla and grilled.
I had the Philly with the green peppers and onions and horseradish sauce. That was just, I mean, wonderful.
Kurt does most of the cooking himself, using his beef along with spices from Scott Farms, a local vendor. There's also a selection of the mixes and dips for sale, like in this dessert, Scott's Rockin' Fried Pie, a cheesecake ball covered in graham crackers and then air fried.
For Kurt, the food truck is a labor of love and a way to preserve his family's legacy of providing quality food to the community.
I made a commitment to my grandpa before he passed that I would continue the farm. My grandma on my dad's side owned a couple cafes, late 60s, early 70s, and I didn't really know her, but it touches my heart when I cook. I just, that's why I do it.
I think it's so unique because not only can you get food from his truck, but you can also purchase the dry products that he sells and also the frozen beef.
The trailer holds 2 freezers full of his individual cuts of USDA inspected meats, from steaks to ground beef.
They love the quality of the beef. They love the fact that they don't have to, they can just go to the trailer and grab it, you know, the frozen beef and go home. They don't have to run to the grocery store.
He's a go-getter, and so he's always has something going on and something new working for, I don't know, just making the town better.
At the end of the day, it's, you know, if we can get the bills paid, I'm not here to get rich. I'm here to enjoy life and provide for people, and that's what we do.
Discovering Oklahoma in Piedmont at Rockin' Meats, I'm DEANNE STEIN.
Check the Rockin' Meats Facebook page to find out where they'll be each week. They're available for events. Okay, you're up, Dino.
All right, we'll see. Oh!
That was a nice shot.
Almost.
Nice job.
Almost.
All right, let's give this a shot.
All right.
This is why golf is not my favorite, but Mexican food is. I'm going to take you to a place that I just love.
That's coming up next on Discover Oklahoma. You know, maybe if you, never mind.
What's inside our free Oklahoma travel guide? Artistry for all 5 senses, magic around every bend, and powerful waves of inspiration. Order or download yours at travelok.com.
Welcome back to Discover Oklahoma. We are at the Route 66 Bowl in Chandler.
And we're in their 101 Lounge, which you can rent for your private event. The name comes from this monster. At 101 feet, they believe it's the longest lane in the world. Dino?
Wow.
You ready to take your roll?
I'm gonna try. I have no idea what I'm doing with 101 feet here. Let's see what happens. All right, where's the hook? Where's the hook? Where's the hook? No!
Hey, great shot, Dino. You know, all this activity, bowling, laser tag, mini golf, it makes me hungry. And Mexican food is my favorite. I could eat it for every meal of the day. Great news, this next restaurant has it all. If you find yourself driving down State Highway 49 in southwest Oklahoma, you'll cut right through the picturesque town of Medicine Park. You'll also find yourself a great place to eat, Chad's El Sabores Mexican restaurant.
I think what we're doing is putting a little bit of different twist on some of the food, is how we're doing it. And it's just enough to say, hey, you know, this is a really good place and we're really enjoying this.
Chad's was born from a friendship between Chad and Charlie Brown, owner of the building, who passed away just before the restaurant opened to the public.
As Charlie and I became closer friends and things, we'd sit on the patio, hang out, you know, friends, his friends, my friends. We just kept talking about this restaurant, and I said, I'm gonna do a Mexican restaurant. And we really just joked about it, and he said, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Chad is a sergeant in the Medicine Park Police Department and loves the community he serves. He wanted to fill a space that was lacking as far as food offerings in this area.
We have hamburgers, steaks out here. Everybody's got their niche. The other restaurants up here do an amazing job. And I just thought, okay, let's do a Mexican restaurant.
El Sabores means the flavor in Spanish. And here at Chad's, you'll find delicious, unique twists on all your favorite Mexican flavors.
We really just wanted to be different on the style of food that we were putting in. We have the Big Rock Brera tacos. That is one of our top sellers here. We have the pork enchiladas. We have a chimichanga that's probably the biggest chimichanga in Oklahoma. I may be wrong, but it's an amazing chimichanga. We make our own salsas, we make our own quesos. Everything up here is just made out of that kitchen.
If you're in the area on the weekend, you can enjoy brunch at Chad's.
So the brunch menu obviously is enchiladas as well, chorizo and egg enchiladas, chorizo and egg tacos. We have the classic, we have the classic with bacon, the classic with steak, which is just your Texas toast, eggs, bacon, or your Texas toast, eggs, and steak.
Chad's has a loyal base of customers, and everyone we talked to gave rave reviews.
Oh, I'm here at least 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. I love the tamales. They are so awesome. I love the taco, the enchilada taco salad. Yeah, that's good too. These are the street tacos, and they're awesome too.
I just had the chimichanga for lunch, and it was awesome. Fajitas are very good.
Everywhere you look in Medicine Park, there's beautiful scenery. Combine the gorgeous views of this mountain town with the delicious Mexican food at Chad's El Sabores Mexican restaurant, and it can't be beat.
You will get this. You will get the history. You will get some, just all around a different experience around this area.
Well, it's a beautiful place, and you can look out and see over Medicine Park, and it's awesome. And the people are nice, and the food's great. And the drinks are awesome too.
Chad's El Sabores Mexican restaurant is just one of the cool destinations in Medicine Park. You can find them all at travelok.com.
And while you're there, click on free brochures to get your copy of the Discover Oklahoma Destination Dining Guide. You'll get it in the mail in about 2 weeks. Until next time, remember,
there's always something fun to discover in Oklahoma.
So you lost golf, golf, and bowling. So you
laser tag's far superior than all the rest of the games.
I'm talking 2 separate things that I'm going to do today.